Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Malcolm from the Chicago GMS branch. All right, and just here to bring you another lesson in truth. And I'd first and foremost like to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, or call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of GMS, the elders and teachers of all Israel on earth today. Okay, and salutations to you Akim out there, the Israelite camps, all right, whether GMS or not, that are teaching the truth in sincerity, according to the doctrine that they were taught by the true teachers and the elders of GMS. Okay, this is going to be a breakdown of a movie that I saw years ago. And it's just funny because it was shortly after I had already woken up to the truth, and I probably was already a part of I was definitely a part of the camp at that time, but not having the understanding that I have now about things. We were all I'm going on like this is right around the 10-year mark for me of being in this truth, and yeah, it's amazing how much you reflect back, how much you grow. And then how much you still have to grow. Matter of fact, hopefully you don't have too much growing to go because we want to cross over to the other side. Make it in that first go around. But this breakdown is going to be on the movie Babylon AD with Vin Diesel in 2008. And I actually saw that movie. And now after watching it again, now that I have some biblical understanding, it's heavy how deep the movie is. So without any further ado, I'm gonna just jump right into it. So yeah, this movie came out. It's called Babylon AD. It came out in 2008. And I just watched the movie and I paused it and wrote notes. So I'm just going to read my notes and then go to the scriptures that I, prescribe to break things down. So it's basically it was the fall of governments. It was post-World War III. And he was an American in Russia, a former Marine. You knew he was a Marine because of his training, some of the lingo that he used, and then he also had a great big old USMC tattooed on his shoulder. So, and like a lot of Marines do, they turn mercenaries. All right. A lot of guys in the military realize how much money it is to be made in these bankers wars, and they get out the military and they go join like Blackwater and these private mercenary army groups, and you get paid ridiculous amounts of money to do the same work that you did in the government for pennies. All right. But people were living in squalor, and it comes on, he skinned and cooked a rabbit, man, eating abominable things. Okay? And there was and it was brought out that he was on a terror list. Okay? So they don't give you the whole breakdown of what happened or why he was put on the terror list, maybe because he was speaking the truth. Who knows what happened? But speaking the truth would definitely get you put on the terror watch list. All right. The news playing in the background, and there was terror attacks going on worldwide. And if you're listening to the news playing in the background of the movie, that's all that's going on. And that's also talked about in the scriptures, the great insurrections. Let me get a couple scriptures. This is all prescribed through the Lord. All right. And all these things is the lady in travail leading up to the great event, man. And this is Isaiah 45 and 7. And it reads, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Okay? So, Yahweh himself, or I, Yahweh, do all these things. The Lord himself creates chaos. Or he creates peace. As simple as that. Okay? Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Where are you? 12 and 1. I'm having a hard time finding Ecclesiastes right now. I have no idea. But it happens. Slovakia. Got it. Small book, turn right past it. That's why. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. And it reads, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. All right. So basically, just the stuff is hitting the fan already, man. The fans is just blowing on low right now. So now is the time for people to be turning to the stronghold, man. Turning back to the scriptures, turning back to following, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, leaning away from your own understanding, and start, following the Lord, man. Now is the time. All right. And something that I noticed, man, lots of actors are making B-rate movies. All right. And they're going straight to DVDs. Okay. And, these flicks aren't going to the movies. And I mean, big name A-listers, man. I was watching a series of movies. 50 Cent got quite a few movies, man, that went straight to DVD or to Netflix, man. And he got big names in it, man. Robert De Niro, I mean, names like that, big names. And then why? Because Hollywood is failing. Music is failing. DVDs and CDs don't sell that like they used to, man. With the internet and pirating, it's killing the bit. Esau creates technology that destroys jobs and opportunities. He'll create technology that destroys his whole infrastructure, man. That makes certain jobs and things obsolete, makes them go away. So you kill whole financial system just by trying to increase technology, man. Okay. I'm gonna read down 12 Ecclesiastes 12. I'm gonna read 3 through 5. In those days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows are darkened. All right. Okay. So the grinders are few, meaning there's not a lot of jobs, man. And times are getting rougher and rougher, man. It's getting hard for people. All right. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. All right. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So people are getting up to go get jobs, but there's no jobs for them, man. And then a lot of these businesses are closed, man. And what they do in Chicago, especially in the uppity areas, man, in the downtown and the north side areas, what they do is they put colorful wallpaper over the windows, pictures and things. They put pictures of people shopping because people aren't shopping, okay? Or they put pictures of vacations. Who the hell can only a very small elite class of people are going on vacations, man, on real vacations. I'm talking about 2-3 weeks at a time and things like that, man. Like a fake Jew of mine, a client of mine, man. She goes on vacation. She's gone for 2-3 weeks at a time, man. And she travels with bodyguards, man, because she has Israeli former IDF guys that like I said, get into that mercenary or security business. You make way more money than you do in the military. Okay. But then there was this guy named, so going back to the movie, there was this guy named Gosky who I think the actor was Gerard Godot playing a Russian. It looked like him, sounded like him with makeup on, but it was hard to see. And the dude was riding around in a luxury tank, man. He had a tank, but inside the tank, it looked like he had took the tank to see, X, man. And like he got his tank pimped. He pimped his ride, man. Dude was riding around in the tank. That's going to show you how times was. And in the tank, all he had was TV monitors, so he was watching all the world news. And once again, the world news was nothing but, utter chaos, man. Uprisings and insurrections. Okay? Then they go to this and so he gave him a job, was to go to this monastery to pick up this Edomite chick, and along with her escort, which was Michelle Chow. All right, and in this monastery, you don't know what type of religion. I think it was called the Church of No Light. And what's that scripture? Well, I can't think off the top of my head. If they speak not according to this gospel, there's no light in it. Matter of fact, I think that's Isaiah 8 and 20, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look and see real quick. Yeah, it says to the law, Isaiah 8 and 20, to the law and the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them, meaning that there is no truth in them. They're not telling the truth, man. Just like Christianity. Christianity does not line up with the Bible, man. Christianity is a terroristic religion used by the so-called white man who was Esau Edom to push their agendas. All right. They took the Bible, changed the meaning of certain words, and gave you false images, and then teach according to the words that they changed the meaning of, and the use of the false images that they put up. That's basically what they do. If that makes any sense to you, whether it does or it doesn't, that's exactly what they do. But anyway, this monastery was built, and this girl was there, and I think she was 21 now, and this guy Gorski wanted her to go to the U.S. to be sold or be given to transport it there. So she was a package. And Vin Diesel was the guy that he wanted to use to bring him there. Okay? And then they set a path to go across the Bering Strait, which that goes to show you, and they needed icebreaker ships, which goes to prove to you, once again, that the whole lie about the Northern Kingdom coming across from Russia, Asia via Russia into Americas and fill up the Americas that way is a theoretical lie made up by the so-called white man. All right. When this ice-breaking submarine came up, it came up and broke the ice, and people were drowning. They gave you so much time to get on it, and then they disappeared because they didn't want to get seen on satellite, and they would leave people in the freezing water, man. And he was talking about how every year the ice gets thinner and thinner. Because remember, this is post World War III. All right, this is supposedly the world after World War III, and it is amazing. New York was intact, undamaged. Yeah, that was a pipe dream. But Russia was in utter squalor. So I guess America won World War III. Right. America's going to get wiped off the face because America is Babylon. The movie's called Babylon AD. Russia isn't Babylon. America is. Okay? But anyway, just watched a video today of the History Channel presented evidence saying that we don't care that it doesn't fit into the mainstream construct. The images of the Hebrew that was found here and all over America is legitimate and should be put into history, which means history has been written wrong, and it has. And matter of fact, that's what my whole channel is basically about. This whole channel is about real history, and the history that you taught about who the nations are, who the Lord's and who the Lord's people are is all false, and you're gonna get the absolute truth here. That's why I'm hated so much. There'll be dumbass comments all over this video. Okay. So anyway, when you got to this place where they departed to go across the Bering Strait, you saw all kind of abominable things, as being used as food. Dogs hanging, cats hanging, that whole sort of thing. Kind of like Venezuela is today. Okay? And they set up checkpoints. Okay? So let's go to 2nd Ezra. Because it's funny that they were actually checking bags on the train today. This is so spiritual, man. Checked in the group me, and they were checking bags on the train today, and at the Addison stop. I think they said it was TSA or Homeland Security or somebody. All right, just picking out random people, more than likely Jake, and going through their bags. Okay, it's becoming more and more like a prison state. Well, it is a prison state, but martial law is coming. But this is 2nd Ezra's 15 verses 17 through 18. Just read those real quick. And it reads 15 through 17. Yeah. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and there shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. And they have these checkpoints, man, where people couldn't get through if they wanted to. You better have had the proper documentation, man. And while they were at this place, the girl had a premonition that something was going to happen. So it made me wonder, was she psychic? Were they trying to push that? She was psychic. She knew something was going to happen, and she started tearing away from them, and they started trying to catch her. And as she ran away from the checkpoint area, the checkpoint area blew up, and there was a mass death. All right? And I'm just going to jump ahead and break down what was going on with the girl. And you don't really find this out fully until toward the end of the movie. But the girl she wasn't a normal human being. She was actually a scientific genetic experiment is what the girl was. They had so basically Esau had combined his biometrics into a human and then grew an embryo and created a person. And she was made to reproduce, so she would reproduce on her own. So they created a female human that was also a computer. So she's analyzing and learning everything. That's why she analyzed the situation and realized through computer calculations that something was about to go happen, and that's the way she was. Okay? And of course she was a computer that just wanted to love on everybody. You know, no war, no blah blah blah. Okay? So that's what's going on with the girl. That's why they're trying to get her to New York. And it turns out that in New York, there's a woman who's the leader of this no-light church sect. And this no-light church sect, well, I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but just know that he was trying to get her to this no-light church, to the leaders of this church, which was a woman. All right, so they're elevating a woman totally, Babylon, placing a woman above the man. So the leader of mankind is through this new church will be a woman. She's like in the position of a pope, and then the savior of mankind was going to be a woman who had a immaculate conception, a virgin birth to the world. That's what the world would have thought, and that was the plan. But she had already been scientifically designed to do this. They had already implanted the embryos in her, and that they would come in, and all of a sudden she'd be pregnant. She's never been with a man, because when they deliver her, the doctor comes in who used to visit her at the convent and finds out she's pregnant. All right, so I'll just let you know that much, okay? But anyway, they going back to, so now after all that happens, going back to when they were leaving the checkpoint and the bomb went up, that's when they actually went out onto the ice to get onto the ship, okay? And to make it to Babylon, okay? So that's when that happened. And they did make it onto the ship, and a bunch of other people died. And they're on their way to Babylon. But here's the future of Babylon. Let's get Psalms 137. And let's read verse 1 and verse 7. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept, and we remembered Zion. Okay? So this is how you know that the whole chapter of Psalms 137 is talking about Babylon. But the captivity of Babylon had already happened. Okay? This is speaking of something of, and this is speaking of something of the future. And this is also how you know that this Babylon is a Babylon where Edom would be ruling. Jump down to verse 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom. Remember, Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked is the Edomites. And they got into rulership via Alexander the Great. All right? That's in 1 Maccabees, the first through like the 9th verse in 1 Maccabees, the first chapter, like verses 1 through 9. Okay? And then it also tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, around the 7th and 8th verse, that Esau is the end of the world. So the new world comes at the end of Esau's. All right? The kingdom of heaven. That's what we're talking about now. Verse 7, Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even unto the foundations thereof. So Edom is the ruler of Babylon, okay? Which is also spiritually Rome and spiritually Egypt, because Esau combined all those things that were done in those left-hand side things that were done in those societies and combined them, and there you go. Because he would heap unto himself all people. He does the same thing now. All right? They always talk about, America's a melting pot, and the biggest melting pot in America is New York. Second would be Chicago and California. Okay. So, it says, all right, let me see what I wrote here. Oh, yeah. On the other side of the Bering Strait, getting onto the America / Canadian side, they had, there were a couple, they were on snow skis trying to, get across. I mean, what do you call them? Snowmobiles. Okay. And they drove up on a bunch of bears, and they were trying to figure out why it was dead. And Vin Diesel knew right away, his character. And his character knew that they had been shot by drones. And then here you come, these killer drones that are flying the same way Esau does now. All right. He has drones that fly up high into the heavens and shoot down bombs and kill people who, defenseless people who have no way of fighting back or even know that they're targeted, man. All right. And that's what he does. Esau really is a coward. All right. His blessing, the sword, just because he was the inventor of the sword don't mean he was the greatest wielder of it. All right. Because Esau kept inventing weaponry where he didn't have to face you, where he can fight you long distance, where he could destroy you from a long distance and then come in when you're beaten down and weak, or your numbers are few. Then he sent his armies in because Esau is a coward by nature. Okay. But, going back to that thing, they when they get on the other side of this, the Bering Strait on the other side, coming into the Russia-American side, leaving Russia, coming to the American side, that is such a long path to go. There's no way that humans could have crossed that, especially then. You can't cross it now. I think the Russians have several ice-breaking ships. America may have one. And there's no way you could go into the wilderness with millions of people, old people, little children. There'd be nothing to hunt. They'd be hunted, the bears, and probably would go after them, the wolves. And there's no bones and no trails, nothing of that. So there would be plenty of it if that many millions of people came across. So that's a lie. All right, and that's just false history, man. Just like the moonwalk. The scientists have already proven that you can't get past the Van Allen belt. They've admitted that. And you mean to tell me that with minimal technology you can make it to the moon, and with more advanced and better technology you can't do it again? It's a bunch of bullshit, man. All lies. So anyway, the monastery where they were was destroyed. And the reason it was destroyed was for the information that I already shared with you about the origins of the girl, because they needed to portray this girl to the world as being a virgin given virgin birth. So they bombed the monastery, and then that's on the news. It's playing on all the screens. And the girl knew it when it happened. All right. She, and they killed her. All right. So the queen of Babylon, the leader of the Church of No Light, which is equivalent to the Catholic Church, this immaculate conception and one world order, Esau's just exposed, man. All right, because that's exactly what they're gonna do, and so let's do that. Let's get Obadiah, sixth chapter. The 6th verse of Obadiah. Let's get that real quick. Because it says, how the things that Esau searched out, man. And how are they searched out? They're searched out through the Holy Scriptures, man. Here we go. Obadiah's only one page, so there it is. This is Obadiah 6, and it reads, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are the hidden things sought up, man? Why? Through knowledge and wisdom of the Scriptures, man, and filtering the Scripture history through the Scriptures. That's how you find out and figure out who Esau is, man. Okay? So let me see what I wrote here. It said the No Light Church wanted to convert the world, and their stock options were sky high, all right, with the Roar and the Twins. So, yeah, so I think there was 54, no, she said it was 54 million people that was a part of this church, or 254 million. And if they would have pulled off this immaculate conception thing, it would have been, 2+ billion. They would have had a third of the earth worshiping this false religion, which we can equate to the mark of the beast, because this child represented biometrics. This young girl who was pregnant with these, basically a form of the mark of the beast. Okay. So basically they could have just fooled the very elect. So let's get a scripture on that, man. All right, because a lot of people will fall for it, just like they're gonna fall for it when Esau actually does it. He'll use his Project Blue Beam and probably put up images of Cesare Borgia. Who knows what Esau's got planned, man? But this is Matthew 24:24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And they were planning on deceiving the whole world with this girl Aurora having these twins and never being with a man before, which is why they destroyed the monastery, to destroy where she came from, because it was playing on the news on the background. All the news broadcasters of who would do such a horrible thing to a peace-loving people, and it's a sad and it's a dark day, and all that kind of bullshit. And then out of that, all of a sudden, a girl is pregnant with a virgin is pregnant with twins immaculately. So they were gonna try to use that. Okay. And of course, let's go to the book of Revelation, man. This is Revelation, the 14th chapter, 13th chapter. Verses let's read 15 through 18. And it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and to the image of the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save they had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay. So that's 666, and that is the chip that's in the driver's licenses, that's in the credit cards, that's in your fobs to get into your workplaces and all that sort of thing, in your passports. And they want to eventually put that in you and make you like Aurora, when you connect it to all the computers. That's why she always knew what was going on in the world, because she was a living computer inside her flesh, like a Terminator, so to speak, but just more human-like. Okay, and that's what Esau is looking for, a way to live forever in control over all people, man. Okay, but if you take that mark, that's done for you. You're done, man. All right, and this is Revelation 14:3. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, that no man could learn the new song but the 144,000 which were redeemed out of the earth, man. So the 144,000 are going to be the new governing body of the Lord, and they're going to be teaching the people of the Lord, and telling them not to take that chip. Okay, this is Revelation 14:11 and 12. And the smoke of their torment ascended up and forever and ever, and they have no rest day and night, who worship the beast and his image, and whoever so receiveth the mark in his name. Okay, so you're gonna die if you take that mark, man. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that kept the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh Shai, man. That's gonna be that 144,000, man. Because if you take that mark, you're gonna die, man. All right, and that's what the faith and the patience of the saints is, man. Okay, it is to have to endure the time that's coming, man, for those who don't take the chip, because life is going to be very hard. All right, and this is last scripture in Revelation 14:8. And it reads, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of her fornication. All right. And in this movie, in the comparison, the wine of that fornication was the no light church, man. Which is basically is the spirit of the Antichrist, man, which anything which is against Yahweh Yahweh Shai. You know, being IUIC, being it ISUPK, ITR, because ITR is not teaching the gospel of the Lord. They're teaching some new stuff which can't be substantiated or backed up by scriptural precepts. All right. And a couple other different sects that are going off out there or coming against the apostles and the teachers which were set up by the Lord, man. All right. Hey, so with that, I hope this was an edifying video, and I pray that that this all comes to a head, and we're gonna find out who the Lord's chosen are real soon. Shalom.